Hi everyone, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to Little Mountain Ranch. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm really happy to have you here with me today. We are going to be getting up to a bunch of garlic related things today. We are going to do some fermented black garlic with this beautiful garlic that you can see here. And in that box is a garlic fermenter, a black garlic fermenter. I had never tried black garlic until a couple weeks ago when my neighbor brought me some over to try. Their family's absolutely addicted to it. And she told me about it and I said I'd never tried it. So she brought me some and it is the best thing. It is so good. My favorite way to have it is with cheese and crackers, but even just eating a clove of it, it's so good. It's so sweet. In fact, hold on, I'll show you. All right, let me show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like when it is fermented. And then if we peel one open, you can see that it is black garlic, so it's very appropriately named. And it is absolutely so good. It tastes like candy, garlic flavored candy, which may not sound like the best thing, but if you are a garlic lover, I promise you will love this. So I actually bought a black garlic fermenter, which is in that box. I haven't opened it yet, so I thought we could open it together and get a batch going. So that's one thing we're gonna do. The other thing we're going to do is to ferment some garlic here, these little cloves, into some of our honey. And we're going to ferment that for a couple of weeks. And then I like to use that for all sorts of things, like a glaze for chicken is really good, but I especially like to do it when my throat is feeling sore, when I have a cold. So we are going to do that. And then the other thing that we're going to do is make some honey cough drops. This is something that we make every single year. They are very, very soothing on the throat if you have a sore throat or a cold or a little bit of a cough. So we're going to make some of those. And then I'm also going to put another batch of fire cider together. This is the fire cider that I made about 6 weeks ago, but we're actually going through this fairly quickly. So I'm going to strain this out and start a fresh batch of fire cider as well. Before we get into the video though, I want to share with you some of the prizes that we have put together for our giant giveaway. We're doing a giveaway for reaching 200,000 subscribers, which we are just about there. I'm so excited about it. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is to sign up for our email list, and there's a link down in the pinned comment and the show notes below. We have 10 different prizes that we're offering for this giveaway and a grand prize, and I am so excited to be able to offer so many different things to you. You guys have just been so amazingly supportive of our channel over the years, just the kindest people in the world, and we just want to give back to you. So let me run you through some of our prizes. I'm so excited. So we are going to be giving away a pack of 5 of my favorite tea towels. So the gingerbread tea towels, this is one of their Christmas ones, which are my favorite tea towels in the world. And so we're giving 5 of those away. A gift certificate for Simply Merino, which is these wool shirts that I wear. I love this company. The majority of these companies are small family-owned businesses, and I really want to support them as well. So a gift certificate for Simply Merino. A couple of year subscriptions to both Backwards Home magazine and Self-Reliance magazine. So these magazines were one of the ways that I first learned about homesteading over 20 years ago. They've been around for over 30 years and they're a family-owned business, and they're just a fantastic subscription, and they are offering a couple of subscriptions for you guys. An electric Presto canner back there. So excited about that. 4 Jars is giving away a prize pack with some of these metal funnels that you guys see me use all the time. Canning lids, what else did they say they were putting in there? A manual vacuum sealer and a canning timer. We are going to be giving away a West Coast Seeds gift certificate, 2 beautiful Extrema Dutch ovens. This is my favorite Dutch oven. I love it so much. Most of these gifts are only available to North American subscribers just because of shipping issues and shipping constraints. But we value our international subscribers just as much as we value our North American subscribers. So we wanted to offer a prize for international subscribers as well. And that is going to be a signed cookbook. This is our cookbook here. And I will sign this for you. Maybe I'll get Dan to sign it for you too and send that off to you if we end up with an international winner to one of these draws. And our grand prize which I am so excited about, is a medium harvest right freeze dryer. Yes, you heard that right. We're going to be giving away a medium Harvest Right freeze dryer. And Harvest Right actually has their biggest sale of the year going on right now. And they've let me know that if you do win the giveaway and you've already purchased a freeze dryer with this sale this month, this is November 2024, then you will be eligible for either a refund on the one that you purchased, or you can have two if you want to have two. I am so incredibly grateful to each and every one of you. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this position. So thank you, and this is just a way for us to be able to give back to our community. And on that note, let's get into making some fun stuff. I think the first thing that we'll do is open up this fermenter over here because I'm really curious about it. Okay. So cute. Okay, black garlic fermenter. Okay, so there's our insert and our rack for putting our garlic on. Okay, I'm just going to go give these a wash. We're going to fill up our cage with fresh garlic, place the cage into the pot. Working temperature will be between 70 and 80 degrees Celsius on the first to third day, and then 50 to 60 on the fourth, and after the fifth day between 70 and 80 again. The whole fermentation time is 6 to 12 days. Okay, if fermented garlic is still too moist and not dark enough, further fermentation can be achieved by prolonging the function for a few more hours or days. And apparently you can dry this after you want, like if you want to peel it and then let it dry after so it's really dry, you can do that. Well, I guess we'll do that first. We'll just run it through on its default setting first and then see if that works for us. So I'm gonna put a bunch of garlic in here. We'll load it up. I'm doing a lot because I know that I love it. It's so good. I also thought that this could potentially make some really nice gifts for Christmas as well. Put this in here. Lower our cage in. Now, as far as I can tell, it didn't say to add any water or anything in here. Okay, so you can see on here, so it has solo garlic, garlic multi-clove, so that's the one we'll be using, and then the drying option at the end, and I'll decide whether I want to do that. So I'm going to put this down in the shop because I don't want to stink out my house. So in a week, when this is finished, I'll make sure that I film opening it up and trying it and see how it works. So the first thing that I'm going to do is strain our fire cider. So this is the fire cider that I made. It has lemon, garlic, horseradish, jalapenos, and onions in it. And I'm going to basically make the same one again because we actually didn't mind this at all. So I'm gonna let that actually just sit and drain out all that good stuff from there. And then I'm gonna take my clean jar here and put all of my garlic into my clean jar. And this is going to be for our honey fermented garlic. I only have a little bit left from last year. So I need to do a nice fresh batch. Going to use some of our beautiful honey from last year. It's a little bit crystallized, so I may need to soften this up a bit. So we're just going to top off our garlic here with honey. This is going to take a bit to actually get this mixed in here because it is starting to crystallize just a little bit. As the honey sinks down, we'll just keep adding more to it. So once this has completely filled up with honey and all of the garlic is covered with the honey, I'll put a lid on it lightly, put it on a plate, leave it on my kitchen counter. Usually for around 14 days or so, it'll start getting bubbly and active. If you have a tight fitting lid or you don't have a pickle pipe, and I'll show you what that looks like. That's like this, so any of the extra gases can escape with one of these. But if you don't, just make sure that you open the lid a couple of times during the fermentation process just to release some of those gases. So we'll set that back there and just keep adding honey to it. You know, I'm wondering if there's any harm in reusing these ingredients and just topping it off with some fresh stuff. Because I know the vinegar, because I'm going to top this with apple cider vinegar, is preserving it, so I don't have to worry about it going bad or anything with all that vinegar. But I just have a feeling that all of these ingredients in here probably still have a lot of good stuff left in them. So because I actually don't have any fresh lemons or jalapenos left right now anyway, I think what I'm going to do is take some of my ginger and my horseradish and just top this off with that. And then when I get, next time I go to town, when I get some fresh lemons, I can just pack those in there as well. It might not be quite as potent as the fresh fire cider from the first run through of all these ingredients, but I think it's probably going to be just fine. So let's grab a peeler here and a cutting board for that matter and peel this. So this is horseradish from my garden. I am a big fan of horseradish. I love horseradish sauce. So I'm just going to cut this into some little chunks and plunk them right into our jar like so. Some ginger. And our ginger in there. And I'll just leave a little bit of headspace in this jar so that I can add some more lemons, because that's one thing that's in here that I find really helps with the flavor. Flavor is all of the lemons. Okay, we'll top this off with some apple cider vinegar. And lid it back up and set it aside again for another 6 weeks. And now we are going to make ourselves some honey cough drops. So I'm not going to be using my raw organic honey over here because I'm going to be heating this up to the hard crack stage. So it's going to mess around with the enzymes and all the good stuff in my raw honey. So I'm just going to use some store-bought honey for this, and I'm going to use a cup of honey. And we're going to bring this over to the stove and get it heating up. You can use a candy thermometer for this. I'm kind of at the point now where I can tell the color that I'm going for when I know it's going to be at the hard crack stage, and it's basically a really dark caramel color is what I am going for. These basically could not be easier to make, but my kids just love them when they have a sore throat. Okay, can you see how it's getting this nice dark caramel color? So we're just about there. So you can also stick a spoon in it, and you can pretty much tell right away if it's going to solidify when you put it on the silicone sheet. And you can see that's really, really thick there. So we are perfect. So we're gonna let this cool down a little bit, and then we are going to add a little bit of lemon oil to it. This is totally optional, but do wait till it cools down, and when you add this, it's gonna fizzle and steam rapidly. So just don't put your face right over top of it when you do this. So now we're going to take this and we are going to put it into cough drop size dollops on our tray here. And these do not take long to get hard. I usually will put them outside on the deck because it's winter here right now, so it's chilly. Or into the freezer you could put them, or even just into the fridge, or just leave them on the counter. As long as you got them up to that 300 degrees place, they should go nice and hard, just like a candy. Okay, friends, so I know they don't look super fancy, but these are awesome. So that's what they look like. They taste really good. I have never done little ones like this before, so I'm curious to see how they pop out of these. And our garlic is now all topped off with its pickle pipe, so this is going to ferment, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So what I do is I just leave these sitting on the counter on a plate like this, and then people can just help themselves as they need them. But if you did want to put them into a jar, I would suggest coating them with some powdered sugar or maybe some arrowroot powder or something like that, because otherwise they will stick together. Bear cough drops. Cute as that. It's best even if you can leave them on the silicone sheets that you used for making them. I have tried doing this on parchment paper before or wax paper before, and it doesn't work quite as well as doing it on one of these silicone mats. And if you are going to use that, I would suggest even putting a little smear of oil or something on it just so that they don't stick, because they are pretty sticky. So just honey, a little bit of lemon for flavoring, and they work just great. I wanted to show you this new cookbook that I just bought. I don't buy myself cookbooks very often, but sometimes I come across a cookbook that I just need to have. Look at that beautiful cookbook, and it has almost like a cloth kind of cover to it. And the inside of it is all vintage looking. I follow this woman, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, on Instagram, and she makes the most gorgeous content I have ever seen. And this cookbook, it just came in the mail today, but this cookbook is no exception as far as just her beautiful content. And I cannot wait to dig into some of these recipes here because they're just exquisite. I mean, look at that. Doesn't that look so good? There's some pretty easy recipes in here, but there's also some that are a little bit more complicated. So really excited to try some of these recipes. So I think what I'm going to do now is take a pause on the video and do some other things that I need to get done today, and then I'll be back with you to make a Romanian ferment. So this recipe comes from one of my followers over on Instagram. She asked me if I was interested in recipes from her country, and I said absolutely. So this one ferment that she sent is one that she said that they use in the winter time to kind of balance out the heavier meals that people tend to eat in the winter, which is perfect for us because we definitely eat like that as well. Much heavier and more dense kind of foods, lots more meat and things like that in the winter time. So I'll be back with you in a bit and we'll put together that ferment. Okay, now we're gonna put together our Romanian ferment. I have a gallon jar here. I have a brine back there that is 1 teaspoon of pickling salt for every liter of water. So I've just boiled that, and that'll be waiting to go into here. So into this particular ferment, we're going to add red cabbage, celery, and she said to make sure that there were tops as well, some cauliflower, beautiful beets, carrots, and apples as well. And Dan also brought me back some organic lemons, so I am going to cut up a couple of these and throw those into our fire cider back there. But first, she just said that I can put these vegetables in as many of each one as I want, so I'm gonna put an equal distribution of these into our ferment here. So I'm just gonna chop these up into smallish sized pieces. I noticed in hers, I'll show you a picture of the one that she sent me. So hers are actually kind of all mixed up, which I think looks really pretty, but I think just for the ease of it, I'll just do it in layers. Oh, there were a couple other ingredients too that we needed for this. Green tomatoes, and Dan actually found some greenish tomatoes at the grocery store. So I'm just gonna go give these a wash here. I love the way beet looks, it's so beautiful. With all these veg, I think I'll just put that much beet in. And in hers, the carrots were kind of more long and thin, like this size. So we'll do that. I make fermented stuff all the time, so I know that I'm going to likely enjoy this. That's why I'm making an entire gallon worth. Some celery. I think apple is an interesting choice to throw in to something like this. I don't think I've ever put an apple in ferment, like a mixed fermented veggies like this before. I think one of my favorite things about doing YouTube that's kind of come out of it has been connecting with so many people from all over the world and getting to just learn so much about different cultures, different recipes. Okay, so we're gonna throw green tomatoes in here. So I hope I'm doing this right, because I noticed in hers that her green tomatoes were not cut up, but I don't have any smaller green tomatoes than these big ones here. So got our little tiny head of cauliflower. I don't think I have purchased cauliflower at the grocery store. I don't even know in how long. It's been a very, very long time. This is so tiny. If you're new here, I love to garden. And I adore growing all the brassicas, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, all that kind of stuff. And I usually, because we live in a northern climate, have pretty good luck growing fairly good size brassicas. So this little one seems really cute. Cute and small to me. This is looking so beautiful already. Look at that. You can add a little bit more beet to this. Look at that. How beautiful. Okay, and so the cabbage was kind of in chunks. Okay, so now we're gonna top this off with our brine, and then I'm gonna use a cabbage leaf on the top to try to hold down all of those veggies. But that looks really beautiful, doesn't it? And the colors of produce just make my heart happy. Okay, we got our brine in there. So now we're gonna take off, see if we can get a whole leaf off of here. There we go, that should do it. And then we'll take this and put it here to hold all of our veggies in underneath. And I have a couple of pickle pucks here, just chunks of glass, and into our jar to hold down all of our beautiful produce. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. And we're just gonna put a lid on there loosely, and I will burp this a couple of times a day, and I'll show you. This will probably take around 7 days, I'm gonna guess, because it's fairly cool in here right now, to fully ferment. And we're gonna put it on a plate just in case any of that juice comes up and comes down the side. We don't want it to wreck our counter. And that is so beautiful, oh my goodness. Whoa, that's also heavy. So I have all these beautiful veggies here that I'm gonna do something with. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but something. So now let's just go over here to our fire cider. Another lemon. Into there. Go. So we got another whole lemon in there too. All right, friends, that feels like a very productive afternoon in the kitchen. I hope that you enjoyed spending this time with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I'll give you updates on all these things that we've made today. This ferment, the honey ferment with the garlic, and then also our black garlic that we're fermenting down in the shop. I did go check, or I went and set up the machine, and then I went and checked to see if it was working, and it does seem to be working. So in about 3 weeks time or so, I'll have all of these different ferments to show you. Okay guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.